Hey, how you doing? This is Joshua Holmes. This is your teacher for Algebra 1. I want to show you the incredible power of the Desmos calculator and how you can use it to solve all sorts of questions. So, if you look at Desmos, we are at desmos.com/calculator. If you haven't already, you should type this into your address bar up here and click this star, and then it'll say save, and it will put it right here on this this bookmark bar, and then you don't have to do anything. You see how I've got it bookmarked? All I literally do is click that and I go right to Desmos every time. So you've been using calculators for a while. Why should you use Desmos? Because Desmos has so much power to do problems for you. So this is what the Desmos graphing calculator looks like. On the left side over here, you're going to have an area where you can type, right? And I can put in multiple things all the way down if I need to, right? And over here on the right side is my graph. So let's say you get a problem, 3a equals 10. You get it, you need to solve for what a is, you put it into Desmos. Well, I typed 3a equals 10 in, and I get this caution here, and it says we only support implicit equations of x and y. What that means is if I put in a or n or t or d or k, I'm not going to get a graph. So what I do is I'm going to take this variable a, and I'm going to convert it to x. Right? Now, when I converted it to x, you can see over here, I've got myself a graph. I've got a vertical line. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the line, and you see this gray dot right here where the line intersects the x-axis, this horizontal axis. I'm going to hover my mouse over it, and I'm going to take a look at what's there. So you see two numbers there, 3.333, comma 0. That's an ordered pair. It's a dot on a graph. The value of x in this equation over here, 3x equals 10, is this first number of the ordered pair. It's 3.333. Now this is actually 3.3 bar, or you can consider it 3 1/3, but however you like to think about it, that is what the answer is to this equation. And look, you didn't do anything. I didn't divide both sides of the equation by 3. I didn't do any simplification whatsoever. I literally just typed it in the Desmos, and boom, there's my answer. Write it down, move on. So, you get some sort of equation, right? And once again, I got the caution symbol right here. We only support implicit equations of x and y. Okay, so this is what I got. Now I'm going to put x in. So when I do that, again, I've got this graph here. And now I click on the line, and I just hover the mouse over. I don't even have to click on this dot. I just hover the mouse over it, and there is my answer. There is the value of x in 6x minus 7 equals 90. The value is 16.167, which is 16 1/6. So this is really just extraordinary how well it works. Now I want to show you something. That wasn't as good as I had hoped. Alright, so I've got an equation 2x plus 3 equals 533. So I don't have the caution sign. I used an x, I put in the equation, and I don't see a graph. What's going on here? Well, what's going on here is that the value of x is bigger than these numbers, right? The value of x is bigger than these numbers. So I'm going to have to zoom out. I'm going to use this minus sign to zoom out. You can also use the open and close motions with your fingers on the trackpad. So I'm going to zoom out. Nope. Nope. Hey, looky there. Alright, so I see that, and 265. So in this equation, 2x plus 3 equals 533. The answer was 265. And I didn't see the graph right away because the number was too big for the scale of the graph that I had. But as I zoomed out, then I saw it. So here I zoomed in, I can see negative 100 to positive 100, but that's not enough room on the graph, so I just zoomed out until I found it. What else does this do? Well, everyone's favorite are fractions, right? Well, oops. So, that's a good error for me to show. So I typed the fraction in, and I gotta hit the right arrow to get out of the fraction. So instead of continuing to type in the denominator, right, which is what I don't want, I hit the right arrow, and now you see how the cursor has moved up kind of in between the numerator and the denominator. That's going to allow me to type just like that. Now I'm going to zoom in a bit on this one just to take a closer look. I'm going to scroll up and... Alright. So, 5/3 x plus 10 equals 9. In that equation, the value of x is negative 0.6, or negative 3/5. Right? So it's able to do that. Let's kick it up another notch. So here, I have a problem where I have a 2 on the outside. Let me make that a 5. I have a 2 on the outside, and then I have 4x minus 5 in these parentheses, right? So normally I have to distribute the 2 or divide both sides of the equation by 2, whatever works, and then do the two-step equation inside here. But I don't have to do any of that. I literally just typed it into Desmos as it is. Got myself a vertical line, mouse over. The answer is 4.375, which is 4 3/8. And that is what Desmos can do. Now, when we get into multivariable problems, when we don't just have one variable, but we have 2 or 3 or 4, Desmos won't be able to handle that in exactly the same way. But for these one-step problems, anytime you've got one, convert the variable to x, type it into Desmos, and see where this vertical line crosses the x-axis. That first value right there is your x value. Pretty extraordinary stuff. Now it's your turn to practice.